a channeled message for you. It's important for us to start asking ourselves different questions for a different experience. If you want to be living from the theme of freedom, want to be in your most ideal, free self, then it's okay for us to know what we would say to ourselves on a regular basis, what would be going through our minds, what questions we would be asking ourselves, because if we're free, that means we're the priority. And in this message, the main question I'm hearing is, what does my body need now? What does my body need now? That can be really difficult for us to answer when we're so used to being in our minds all the time. We're still trying to practice getting into our bodies. But the reason why I feel that the message is saying, get used to asking yourself simple questions like this every day, is because we don't want to be asking these questions in very polarizing, extreme situations, because sometimes that's the only time that we really remember that we're connected to our body. And sometimes we only remember we're connected to our body because when something extreme happens, we may feel we actually have an outer body experience. We may actually feel safer blacking out. And that can be very disadvantageous for us, but advantageous for anybody around and any energies around that want to take advantage of you, not being inside your body. So being able to ask yourself simple questions like, what does my body need from me right now? What does my body need from me today? The most free version of you would feel confident in being able to resource whatever answer comes up, or be patient enough, compassionate enough, graceful enough to allow that answer to come through. This is about really honing in and harnessing a solid foundation with our physical body, with our vessel, and honoring it in a different way, and allowing ourselves to ask the questions that we would be asking ourselves living in the most highest form. If you ask yourself these questions on a regular basis, you have to experience a reality where you are able to resource for yourself and answer them immediately. And then the next time change happens, because it's inevitable, when extreme situations or storms pop up, we can feel confident that we can be the rock, the counselor, the inner parent that we need to hold still as we allow the storm to pass. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with allowing for your mind to engage with more simplified questions, because the mind's job is to kind of complicate things. But simplify it. What do I need? If you really want to be the priority, you'll be asking questions that put you first. So there's nothing wrong with asking yourself, what does my body need from me right now? For some of you, it looks like a nap. But you may not want to do that because you think you procrastinate too much. But procrastination is a form of needing rest. Others of you may say, I need to step away from this computer for a while and get outside, get some fresh air. I need to touch some grass. And that's fine. I need to use my PTO and take a vacation. I maybe need to go to the doctor, see what they say, and move from there. Maybe I notice that I need to spend less time or maybe no time in these physical or online spaces where people congregate to gossip or are so happy about the demise of another person. My body doesn't feel good there anymore. It doesn't feel like I'm free. It doesn't feel like I am exercising my best self in these lower kind of bottom feeding energies. And I say bottom feeding in more of a scavenging way. Like, let me just scavenge whatever is already done, what's already kind of dead, and try to keep making something out of it. That's where I get my nutrition. That's where I get my sustenance, is by gathering things that are already decomposing and decaying. Does my body need that? What does my body need instead? What would actually give my body more to run off of? What will give it proper fuel? Not fleeting. What would be more sustainable for me? These relationships may not be it. The highest form of me, the most free version of me, can now identify, I don't physically resonate with this anymore, because the sensations are information, not a threat. And we don't need to always, again, be in situations where we're only listening to our body when we're in polarizing situations. That's not the only time we need to know ourselves. And we also don't need those events to then teach us about ourselves every single time. Things will come up and we will continue to learn more and expand on ourselves. But when we are not regularly checking in with our vessel, then it can feel like it takes a really long time for us to unlearn the really negative speak, unlearn asking ourselves really negative questions about our physical experience and what it's trying to say to us, instead of ignoring it or instead of abandoning it all over again. Okay? So I'm going to end the channeled message here because I'm not really getting anything else. But once again, the version of you who is living their highest form will be putting themselves first. So therefore, you would be asking yourself different questions on a regular basis that check in with you, that make sure that you are safe, that you can be as grounded as possible, and that you can remain in your body regardless of what is going on outside of you. All right? So I appreciate it if you made it all the way this far. I'm really grateful that I have a space to be able to share all of these messages with you, because it can get a little loud sometimes with the clairaudience. But I intend that this message was validating. I intend that it was helpful as well. And I appreciate being able to be here and show up for you. Do let me know if this resonates. And I look forward to seeing you next time.